What's up, everyone? It's your boy Rocket456 here today, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're just going to be taking a tiny little break from the Epic Mickey Let's Play, and we're going to be talking about Pokemon. Because, as you guys know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to be coming out on the Nintendo Switch in November. And so I just kind of went on a Pokemon binge, and I just recently beat Black on the DS, and then now I'm playing Pokemon Heart Gold, and it's definitely a trip down memory lane, especially with Gen 5 being the first gen I've ever played as a human person. I was gonna say as a kid, but as a person. Gen 5 was actually my first ever Pokemon game, and so, which is crazy to some people that Gen 5 was actually my first one. But yeah, and so that was playing Black and White again for the build. I want to say like fifth or sixth time was just amazing. I had an amazing experience, and of course, I picked Snivy, which is the best starter Pokemon in Gen 5, hands down. I'm sorry, I love Snivy, but we're not here to be talking about Snivy. We are here talking about how probably the title of this video is that Pokemon has changed. It has changed dramatically since the DS era. Like, even because I've played Sun and Moon, and I've played Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the Gen 3 remakes, and of course I've played Sword and Shield, and just from it jumping into 3D, Pokemon has changed dramatically. For one, the story is kind of taken a backseat in recent games. Now, don't get me wrong, not Gen 8, screw Gen 8. Gen 7, Sun and Moon was definitely a more involved story. But then when we got Sword and Shield, and I was so done with the story, and yeah, it was horrible. Like, Gen 8's story is horrible, and that's why. And yeah, so story has taken a backseat, but especially with watching the new trailers for Scarlet and Violet, what I've really noticed is, yes, I'm totally excited because I never played Arceus, Legends Arceus. I'm totally excited for an open world Pokemon game, but man, it's definitely gonna be a dramatic change for me, especially with playing the older games now, and because when I play Pokemon, I'm used to having a evil team, gym leaders, and like all that stuff. And then, yes, Pokemon has our Scarlet and Violet does have the gym leaders, but it's kind of wild that what is it that there are multiple pathways now, and like I still don't fully understand it. Like, I know there's like the gym leader pathway, and then there's like the evil team pathway, but and that's another thing. Evil teams in the genre has definitely changed. Like, we go from Team Rocket, basic stealing Pokemon. Gen 2 had Team Rocket again, and then Gen 3 had Team Magma and Aqua, with expanding land and water, so they were like actually a nefarious team. They were a threat. Team Galactic in Gen 4, which was actually a major threat because Cyrus was trying to basically control the freaking universe with Palkia and oh my gosh, I always called the I'm sorry, I'm not really a big Gen 4 fan, so I don't know. With Gen 5, with the evil team of Gen 5, we literally had Pokemon Liberation. And after that, like after Gen 5, the evil teams have sort of become a joke. Like, Gen 6 Team Flare was just awful. It was just awful. Like, I've never played X and Y, but just from watching like Let's Plays back in the day, awful. Team Flare is in this stupid crime organization because they're kind of a joke throughout the whole entire game, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna eliminate the world with only like they don't have a great reasoning why they're trying to destroy the world, but whatever. Evil team to be evil team. And then Gen 7, like Team Skull, I mean, yes, I love Guzma. He's an amazing team leader, but Team Skull was also a joke. Like it was like okay, and then Gen 8 again, it's not even an evil team, is literally just a cheering squad, and I was like no, I'm done. And now with Gen 9, it looks like it's just like stupid teenagers that are rebelling against the Pokemon school, or I'm still trying to figure out how the whole Gen 9 story is going. But I was like, see, because I remember when evil teams were actually evil and sinister and actually had plots like Silas and Ghetsis and oh my gosh, I'm kind of blanking out on Gen 3's Archie and Magnus, I believe. Yeah. Actually had like evil and of course Giovanni in Gen 1 and but actually had evil, like they're not just I don't know. Like Gen 7 was more of the misfit group and then like Gen 8 was just like a cheer squad and I was like, okay, this is stupid. But yeah, Pokemon has definitely changed in the story and definitely has changed in the evil teams, but also in the difficulty. I know this is kind of same topic with a lot of the newer games is that they're so easy. The newest out of the newer Gen 3D generations, I want to say Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is probably the hardest because I mean yes, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are pretty difficult, but they're not that hard because they still spoon feed you a lot of stuff. And then Gen 8 is literally just a walk in the park. That is literally the easiest gym gen I've ever played. Like a lot of people had problems with Leon. I didn't really, but also that's kind of like I kind of had Eternatus, which was basically wiped Leon's team. But the only reason why I used Eternatus in against Leon was because I was kind of done with the game at that point, and I just wanted to beat it just to beat it. So I was kind of be like, yeah, just Eternatus, just wipe them out. But like, especially coming off of Gen 5 and Gen 4, with Gen 5 especially being probably one of the more difficult generations, especially with the Elite Four and then N, and then oh my gosh, Ghetsis with his pseudo legendary Hydreigon. Like that was definitely harder. And then we go from Gen 5 to Gen 6 where it's oh my gosh. Gen 6 I've never played, but I heard it's like really easy. But then we go to Gen 7 where the rival literally picks the Pokemon that's weak against your Pokemon, which is kind of annoying because I kind of liked how the rival picked the Pokemon that are stronger than yours, and it was kind of cool. But yeah, that's and then they started that from Gen 7 because Gen 8 did the same thing, and I bet you Gen 9. Well, I don't. Do we have a rival character in Gen 9? Correct me in the comments, but I don't think we do have a rival character in Gen 9, which that is weird. And yeah, I don't know. Pokemon has definitely changed from the story, from the evil teams, from the gem. Well, gems have kind of been the same. Like I loved the one thing I liked about Gen 8 was how they did the gems where it was like these big sporting events, and I really loved that. That's the only thing I'm giving credit for Gen 8 because I just hate Gen 8. I hate Sword and Shield. Those are literally the worst Pokemon games ever. Um, but yeah, it's Pokemon has changed, and especially with replaying Gen 5 and then now playing Gen 2, it's so it's so crazy. Like I'm totally fine with change if it improves the what is it? The series. Like with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Obviously, there was a major change from the series, but still, it improved it and made it better. With these new 3D games, excuse me, with these new 3D games, I feel like they haven't really improved. Like, they've kind of taken a step back. Like, not having stuff like the Battle Frontier and like having those highly competitive things. I know Sun and Moon had those, or it was Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Forget. Correct me in the comments which one it was. But I know they had that. But then like Gen 8, I don't believe had like something like a battle tower or maybe it did, but it's probably the thing is with Gen 8, I only played like the main story and then like the gyms and then I beat the champion and I was kind of done. Like I didn't even buy the DLC for it, so yeah. But yeah, just they've taken a lot of stuff out and of course not having all the Pokemon and stuff, but I don't know, kind of rambling on at this point. But yeah, no, Pokemon has changed, hopefully for the better, especially with Gen 9. I'm really having my hopes. I'm not having my hopes like totally up. I'm still skeptical of the games just because of Gen 8 burned me out so hard, and I really. Literally, for a game to literally burn me out so hard to go back to the originals, that kind of just shows that Gen 8 was just a failure. It was. I could go on a whole rant on why Gen 8 is just horrible. Um, but yeah, no, Pokemon has definitely changed. Hopefully for the better, especially with Violet and Scarlet. Uh, well, there are some things I don't like about Scarlet and Violet already. Like, at first I thought the mascot legendaries were amazing, and then I realized that they're basically just bikes that you just ride around. I thought that was kind of dumb. And then, like, the starters are okay. Like Quaxley, I'm gonna probably go with Quaxley. I usually go for the grass types, but Spinks just does not interest me at all. So I'll probably go with Quaxley because he's like a water flying type, which I think that's cool. Fire type just, I don't know, it doesn't interest me at all. So yeah, no, there are some things that I'm not really okay with, but of course I have to experience them for myself and figure out what I actually have my thoughts on. And if you guys want me to do reviews, like starting to do reviews of games as I do let's plays and stuff, just tell me in the comments. I'm totally open to new ideas for videos. But yeah, so that's basically me talking about Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I wish I could do let's plays on the DS games. The problem is I don't have a DS capture card, and so I can't record screen footage for that. I know it looks like I'm doing it here, but it's not my gameplay. It's another YouTube channel's gameplay, so it's not mine. I wish I could, but I can't. But yeah, no, I love the Pokemon series, the older ones. Not not the 3D ones. Except Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I love those remakes. Those are awesome, and especially with the Delta episode, that was so cool with Rayquaza and everything, and Deoxys, and it was all just amazing. But yeah, no, that's basically my video. It's just been really bugging me, especially with replaying the old games, that Pokemon has definitely changed. Hopefully in Gen 9 it changes for the better, especially with all the positive feedback from Arceus or Arceus or whatever I call that Pokemon Arceus, but especially with the positive feedback from that game, and I'm super excited to play open world Pokemon. So yeah, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, kind of a discussion video of Pokemon, please make sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, please make sure to press the notification bell. When you press the notification bell, please make sure to press all so you be notified every time I upload a video to the channel. So peace, Rocket456, and take care, guys.
You're too slow!